Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Flatbroke Outdoors. We have found a beautiful place right up on top of a mountain. We can see out this way, and I'll spin you all around just a second. You can see one, two, at least three ridge tops over. It's beautiful. The only semi downfall is it's very breezy right now, and I'm gonna be cooking a stir fry before long just because the only thing I've eaten today is some popped sorghum. I don't know if y'all know what that is. It kind of looks like popcorn, but it's super small. And it tastes like popcorn, but it's supposed to be good for you or better for you than popcorn. But anyway, y'all ever see them little tiny hard shell black bugs that land on you and just bite the daylights out of you? But they're landing on me, but they're not biting me too bad. Oh, and by the way, the bee stinging has set in for me this season. I got stung, I think day before yesterday. My wife and I together put that topper on my truck, and then, well, let me start from the beginning. First of all, I still had the ladder rack on it. I pulled the truck over next to the off-road trailer, undid the rooftop tent, slid it over on top of the trailer. They're roughly the same height, so that went very easy. So my next step was take the ladder rack off the truck. So I did that, and then the next step was to put the new seal on the topper, camper shell. So it was sitting on my utility trailer turned sideways. So it's up on the side rails of the utility trailer, and that's where it's been since the day I took it off. I just took it off, covered it with a tarp, and that's where it's been. So I got underneath it, put the new seal on, everything was fine. So I went in the house to find my wife. I said, I need your help. So she come outside and she said, well, how are we going to do this? So as I explained to her that we're both going to get underneath the topper, lift it up, and walk it onto the back of the truck, she decided that was most likely a horrible OSHA violation, and I probably was going to get fired soon. But the trooper that she is, she fell right in with it, and we did just that. We got underneath it, got the front up on the back of the truck, and then I got around behind her, and we just slowly put it up on the truck. Everything went fine. So she revolted and went back in the house. So once I bolted all that down, I needed to get the rooftop tent onto the topper. So I backed it up beside the trailer, and they were roughly the same height. So I stood on one tire of each and slowly made its way onto the truck. And I got that all taken care of. And as I had my arm underneath that bar wrenching on it, something flew and stung me in my forearm. Y'all probably can't see it, but you still see the sting mark, and it's got a little swelling left. But my arm got big as all outdoors. So apparently, the older I get, the worse bee stings are affecting me. When I was a kid, they didn't affect me at all. Matter of fact, they didn't even bother me. I just didn't care. But now, it's a thing. So I'm assuming if I got stung more than 2 or 3 times at the same time, I would be in trouble. But anyway, enough about bee stings. I just wanted to let y'all know that I got my summer fired up, and I'm taking on bee stings again. Oh, where I was going was I had that popped sorghum, and that's all I've had to eat today. And I had planned on making a stir fry with, I don't remember if I got smoked beef sausage, or kielbasa, one of the two. And then I'll add some bell pepper and onions and broccoli, and we'll make it a stir fry. Stir fry minus rice. I did not bring rice, so it'll just be a meat and vegetable stir fry, which is fine with me. Rice is, I can take it or leave it. I kind of like the jasmine rice, and I kind of like the Spanish rice, but I'm not a huge fan of either one of them. But anyway, I'll get back with y'all in just a little bit as I'm getting my meat cut up and all that stuff, and getting ready to throw it in the skillet. How about that? Oh, let me show y'all. already gave you a pan around when I was setting up, but I'll swing it back around there and you can see what I'm looking at while I'm cooking. And I can't see what y'all are seeing because of the glare. Oh, there it is. Yeah, so that's what I get to see right out the back of my rooftop tent. That will be my view in the morning. I have my truck set up in such fashion that that's what I will see. So anyway, enough about that. I'll get back with y'all when it's time to cook. All right, y'all. It's time to get this cooking party started. I did take a second to put some coffee water on. Y'all know I like a little coffee. Little black bugs are quite the nuisance out here today. As far as scenery is concerned, this is probably the best one that I've actually stayed at. I've found a few that I just haven't gone back to yet, but I probably will at some point in the future. I'm sure of it. Y'all, I gotta see if I can find my onion. I'll be right back. Hey y'all, I found that missing onion. Hot. I've got my fire turned up a little bit high just because of the wind. I don't want the wind to blow it out. So we just don't really have enough wind break here. You know, I could have turned my truck sideways and used it for a wind block, but then I wouldn't have that epic view out the window, out the big window on the rooftop tent. So sometimes you just got to sacrifice to get what you want. Now, I'll tell y'all, I don't mind sacrificing my cooking situation for a good view. Because, you know, normally I always have a decent place to cook, but I don't always have a good view like that. Wash my pepper up there, folks. I don't know what kind of hygiene situation they got going on where they prepare these peppers for shipment. So I always try to wash them real good. You don't tell them what you might get. Might be another round of COVID out there somewhere riding on these peppers. Well, my table is just in disarray, y'all. I gotta learn to keep house better or something. Whoa. We don't leave the belly button in there, do we? Get rid of that thing. What do y'all like to cook when you're camping? You know, I watch a lot of different camping videos and stuff on YouTube, and you know, some folks really go all out and do some pretty cool meals, and you know, some people just eat them old dehydrated meals. You know, that don't turn me on much. You know, that stuff's so full of preservatives and super high sodium. This ain't good for you at all. I can see if you were in a, you know, serious emergency situation where you didn't have access to no decent groceries. But you know, them things so high for the cost of one of those things. You could eat 3 meals while you're 3 regular meals while you're camping. You know, I hear some people talk about they hate doing dishes, and they just rather not. Some of the people, they just load their old dishes up, take them back home with them, wash them at home. Some people choose to eat off of paper plates and that kind of stuff. Well, I can see, if you had a lot of folks with you, that whole paper plate idea probably looked pretty good. Pretty good. You can end up with a lot of dishes to do if you're feeding very many people. For sure. Oh, yeah, I think it is. I didn't know if I had my mic on or not. Started thinking about that wind coming across there, maybe drowning y'all out. I don't want that. I already feel like I'm talking to myself over here. I really don't want that to be true. This whole week was a little rough around the edges for me, dealing with that, putting that camper shell back on and moving that rooftop tent around. And I had to put my mud grip tires back on. I had to put my little street tires on there for a trip that we had taken. And it was time to put the grips back on. So all of that stuff, several years ago, wasn't much of a chore for me, but it's a lot more of a chore than I like to think about now. Hey y'all, while y'all was out tending to your garden, this was coming along nicely. Now I seasoned it up with some black pepper, salt, chipotle powder, some Creole seasoning. So it should have lasagna to it. Between the Creole and the chipotle powder, it should be all right. Now in the meantime, also while y'all were gone, that boiling water has turned into coffee. Woohoo! It is hot. I'll tell you what, let me put this broccoli away and I'll get back with you. Alright y'all, I am back. Get this stirred up good so that broccoli can cook a little. I'll tell y'all what, other than my Slumberjack Roadhouse tarp, probably the next best thing I have in my camping arsenal is that 12-volt refrigerator. That thing has been running non-stop for more than 6 months. When I get home, I don't turn it off. I just pick it, carry it in the house, and plug it straight into the wall, and it stays on there till I get ready for my next trip. That thing has been flawless. Has not had any drama whatsoever. So I am definitely happy with that. And if that one went out today, I would have another one before my next camping trip, I promise. All right, let's turn this into coffee. I'll give it a quick press. Oh, wish y'all could smell that. All right, put a lid back on. This is starting. The wind finally calmed down just a little bit, or I could turn my fire down some. It was beginning to get out of hand a little bit there. I don't know about y'all, but I like to mop up some of that grease before I eat. There's a lot of grease hanging out in here from that sausage. Not like I just cooked a pound of bacon or nothing, but there's still some grease in there that I don't really need. So we will mop that up with a little bounty paper towel here. Alright, yeah, see, that's awesome stuff. I don't need clogging my arteries. And I will scoot that to the other side and do the same trick. Alright, y'all. I'm gonna let that cook for just another little bit. I'm gonna get my coffee cup and I'll get back with y'all in just a second. Alright, y'all, everything is about as good as it's gonna get. Pour me a little coffee in here. Just as I suspected, that's pretty hot. Hey everybody, welcome back. It is about 9:30, so it's about time for me to retire up to the old rooftop tent and maybe check out a cowboy movie. It is I didn't start a fire tonight just because of the wind. It's still plenty windy. You know, it had calmed down for a little bit and I considered it, and no sooner than I consider it, it got windy again. So I'm glad I didn't start one, but maybe in the morning the wind will be calm enough we can have a fire. But anyway, I will see y'all first thing in the morning for coffee, right here in the kitchen. Hey, good morning, y'all. It's a little after 6. I got the coffee water on. Hopefully y'all can see that sunrise happening in the background there. I'm just getting ready to put some bacon on the fire here. If I can get it open. Well, I tell you, we got our fair share of them little hard-shelled gnats creeping around here for sure. But not a mosquito in sight, so that's a plus. We're just going to do a quick breakfast this morning of bacon and eggs. And then we're going to pack this circus up and head for the house. I either got to find some parts for my weed eater or get a new weed eater. And that's where I'm at with that. The weed eater got me beside myself. I don't like having something that don't work right. All right, y'all, I got that bacon loaded on there. Let me spin y'all around and show you the scene out the window of my rooftop tent this morning. That's the view I had right out my bedroom window. Doesn't get much better than that around here anyway. I'm sure if you're up in Pigeon Forge or out in Colorado somewhere, or upstate New York, you probably get better views, but where I'm at, that's a good one. Okay, everybody, I am just going to continue to cook this bacon, get this coffee ready. I'll get back with y'all in just a little bit. Hey, everybody, I sure hate that you missed breakfast. I had that bacon, egg, and cheese po folks breakfast sandwich. That was pretty good. Now, since I drew the short straw again, I got to clean up these dishes, get them packed away, get all the stuff shoved back in the rig, and try to get out of here. You know, it took me, I don't know, probably over an hour of maybe even a little longer driving uh, old dirt roads and back roads and rock roads and whatever to get back to this spot. But it was definitely worth the drive. You know, it ain't somewhere where you can bring your sister's Subaru. You need a little more clearance than that, but it's a beautiful spot for sure. And I will be back up here at some point because I'm sure this isn't the only decent spot with views like this up here right in this area. As I was driving, you know, I had gone a little farther down that way and found some other pretty nice spots. So maybe not the next trip, but trip after, we'll probably come back up this direction and see what else we can find. So I'm gonna get these dishes done. Well, first I'm gonna finish this coffee, then I'm gonna get these dishes done, and then I'm gonna pack up and I'll talk to y'all in just a little bit. All right, y'all, that's a wrap on this trip. I got everything cleaned up and packed up. It's been a beautiful time. I know it was only one night, but boy, I sure enjoyed it. It was super peaceful out here. Nothing but me and the birds singing, and the weather was nice, minus a little bit of gusty winds, but you know, you'll have that. I guess this will be the end of it, and I will see you guys next time in the woods.